I'd like to start off this video with an interesting experiment. The experiment I'm referring to is a classic study in psychology known as superstitious behavior, conducted by B.F. Skinner in the 1940s. Once upon a time, in a cozy little lab, a brilliant psychologist named B.F. Skinner decided to test a curious idea. Could these feathered friends develop quirky habits based on the way they were fed? Skinner set the stage with a series of sleek, shiny cages known as Skinner boxes, each equipped with a magical food dispenser. The twist? The food would appear at regular intervals every 15 seconds, regardless of what the pigeons were doing at that moment. It was like a surprise party, but the pigeons had no idea when the snacks would drop. As the clock ticked away, Skinner became a keen observer of their antics. He watched with amusement as some pigeons began to exhibit specific behaviors, such as flapping their wings, turning in circles, or pecking at the walls. These behaviors were random, but occurred just before the food was dispensed. But here's where it got really interesting. The pigeons started to believe their peculiar actions were the secret keys to the food. In their little minds, the flapping and twirling were directly linked to the delightful snacks they received. This phenomenon became a shining example of operant conditioning, where behavior and reinforcement danced together in a puzzling partnership. Skinner's experiment revealed how easily creatures, whether winged or human, could fall into the trap of superstitious thinking, and opened a window into the world of behaviorism, shedding light on how habits are formed and how sometimes we all believe in a bit of magic, even when there's none to be found. They were convinced their quirks led to rewards, even when the connection was purely coincidental. Continuing from the story of Skinner and his pigeons, we find ourselves in a world where humans too can fall prey to the same whimsical thinking. Just like those feathered friends, many of us grapple with beliefs shaped by our experiences, or rather, our misinterpretations of them. Consider the conversations we have with friends and family, especially after they've faced trauma or witnessed something that shook their understanding of reality. If there's a God, they might argue, why do bad things happen to good people? Look at that kind soul who dedicates their life to helping others, yet they're met with malice. And the wicked? They seem to thrive, gaining wealth and success while the righteous suffer. This line of reasoning often belongs to the orthodox religious way of thinking, and it leads to doubts and questionings for the existence of any forms of higher beings out there, making some wonder if the universe is inherently unjust. They yearn for a neat narrative where goodness is rewarded and evil is punished. A storybook tale where the virtuous ascend to heaven and the wicked are cast into hell, like some religions would say. However, for those who have truly lived and experienced the messy complexities of life, this perspective feels a bit naive. Life isn't as black and white as that. Just like the pigeons flapping their wings in hope, we can become trapped in a cycle of expectation. If I do something good, I should be rewarded. If I falter, punishment should follow. But reality is often random. You might help an elderly woman cross the street and later find yourself caught in a downpour, while the person who lies and cheats still gets that coveted promotion. The truth is, life operates on a spectrum of unpredictability. Just because we exhibit kindness doesn't guarantee a string of good luck. Weather patterns, for instance, is pure science, and it follows the laws of nature, not the whims of our good deeds. So, why do we often act out of fear of external consequences, like punishment from God or societal disapproval? Like in the school, we were taught to be quiet in class, and those who don't follow will get their ass kicked and mocked by their peers. So eventually, we normalize this behavior. And the more people capable of behaving normally, the easier it is to control the mass crowd so that everything runs smoothly without much disruption. This conditioning, taught since childhood, turns us into programmed beings, behaving as if we're robots seeking validation rather than authentic individuals exploring the richness of our own souls. Yet, here's the catch. God, or the higher energy we often seek, exists beyond our physical world, in a realm filled with love and understanding. We are spirits on a temporary journey, here to gather experiences and insights to share with others who haven't had the chance to incarnate. Our choices, whether deemed right or wrong, aren't about moral binaries. They're opportunities for growth and understanding. The only real taboos, it seems, are harming others or taking our own lives. And God, which exists on a much higher plane than ours, probably don't carry or understand any emotions at all. Like, how can someone feel angry when someone else tells them some truthful information? And what is angry as an emotion anyway? So the complex hierarchy has to be created so that our guides can help us better, because they watch over us all the time and understand our emotions and suffering. And this is probably quite strange to someone or something from higher realms, as emotions don't exist there. Some may still cling to that pigeon-like mindset, believing that good deeds should earn immediate rewards, or that bad actions will lead to swift retribution. But life teaches us that events unfold in ways we can't always predict or control. Every choice we make carries weight, but the reflection of that weight may come long after the action, often in ways that feel intangible or unrecognizable. Interestingly, recent explorations into hypnotherapy reveal a more intricate web of existence. Many who have undergone past life regression share stories of choosing their families and life circumstances before incarnating. This suggests that while life has its random moments, significant events might be part of a larger plan, crafted by our own souls with guidance from the spiritual realm. As we navigate this complex tapestry of existence, it becomes clear: karma operates differently than most of us imagine. It's not about instant payback, it's about internal transformations. Helping others fosters joy within, while causing harm may lead to guilt, feelings that linger and shape our next steps. The true measure of our actions often reveals itself during the so-called life review process, during NDE, or after we pass, where we experience the emotional echoes of our deeds. In a world now ascending toward higher consciousness, the spiritual energies are becoming more potent. We see karma manifesting more swiftly. Instant karma becomes more frequent, and individuals facing the consequences of their actions in ways that reflect a quicker return of energy. It's an intriguing shift, as those who once seemed untouchable, like rich celebrities or political figures, now find themselves facing their own reckoning and turmoils. That famous place in the movie-making industry, Hollywood, would be a great example. So, what's the takeaway? Live joyfully, making choices that resonate with your authentic self. Don't act solely for external rewards. Let your heart guide you. Life is a grand playground, a space for exploration and experience. Over time, the goodness you share will return to you, not in the ways you might expect, but in ways that enrich your spirit and deepen your understanding of this intricate dance of existence.